Good day traders, welcome back to the Forex Bull Trading Academy. Today in this video we will be looking at silver and what is the price potential in the coming week or two. But before we get started, I would like to remind you that all the information is for educational purpose only, should not be considered as a financial advice. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do it right away. Click the subscribe button and the notification bell to follow all the videos that we're doing every single day. Let's get started with the silver price action. But for this, I think we should move to the daily time frame first. And this is what we have on the daily chart. Clearly, there is a downtrend trend line which has been rejected cleanly while the price tested 26 psychological resistance. At the same time, we have the uptrend trend line which has been broken, but then there was the rejection of the trend line, followed by a very sharp move to the downside. The move to the downside resulted in the break below the 50 simple moving average, but then price has been correcting. It was a pullback, and on this pullback there was a clean rejection of the 61.8 Fips at 25.05, also a psychological level, which shows us that there is selling pressure and bears are defending this level. The most recent price action shows that there was a break below the moving average. At the same time, we have an average price downtrend trend line, and today there was a bounce of the trend line. It seems like silver is getting more bearish, although it's not a long-term price decline, but yet again a correctional downside move before the potential rally. So what we expect from silver, as long as this resistance holds, of course, if it gets broken, the bearish forecast will be invalidated and most likely price will continue going up. But while it stays below the 61.8, we should be under the selling pressure. The price might be going towards one of the Fips that we have on this chart. Overall, there are two Fibonacci indicators applied to spot the downside target. First is the Fips applied to the last huge move to the downside, and second is applied to the last move to the upside. These two Fips show us that there are two levels. First is 23.87 and second is 23, which is psychological level, and I do like it in terms of the potential support and the final downside target, because previously it has been acting as the support twice here and once yet again, and this is possible that this could be the final support level. Now if I move this Fib slightly, you will be able to see that there are two levels, 38.2 and 61.8. This support is also very important because this is the point where the 50 simple moving average was broken, and this is the point where the uptrend trend line has been rejected, and this is the point where previously support has been formed. So these are the two key support areas to watch for the silver, I guess, for the next 2 weeks, but at the same time it could be pretty fast. It could go straight down to the first target, then consolidate, and then only move towards the second within the second week. So maybe it will be something like that. Fast move towards the first target, consolidation, and then yet another move to the downside. On the upside, we obviously need to watch this high as well produced today, because this is the point where the trend line has been rejected and the moving average has been rejected. I guess there could be spikes above this price just to kick out some stop losses. This is the worst case scenario, I guess, if it is a downtrend, and then we will go down. So I would advise to watch this high very closely at 24.67, because break above, especially break and close above on the forward time frame, will most certainly increase the buying pressure. And then if price will go higher above this high, it should become an uptrend rather than the downtrend. So for now, it's very bearish on the silver. We will be continuing to watch what is happening, but this also goes in line with our previously made analysis, which suggests the strength of the dollar. And now we will be going back to all this previously made analysis, first off related to the dollar. Starting off with the dollar Canadian. Here we are rejecting the moving average. The new cycle, bullish cycle, potentially has started. So this consolidation should be ending, the short-term consolidation, and I think the uptrend is just around the corner as long as we hold this support. You can see there was a spike today attempting to break below the yesterday's support, but failed to do so still. And if we hold it, the probability will remain extremely high of this uptrend for the dollar, Canadian dollar. Next dollar related pair is the euro versus dollar. This is a long-term outlook where there is a potential of 400 pips, and we need of course to hold 1.1919 resistance for that. As long as it holds, this should result in the downside correction. Maybe not as much as expected here, but some sort of strong pullback at least. Pound versus the dollar. Well, we have break below the channel. We had this resistance at 61.8, which still hasn't been broken because there was no daily close above. And today we have yet another spike to the upside. Perhaps it will be extremely important to watch the 132.72, so the daily close will remain below. But as long as it stays below this high, it still will be a valid potential downside move. Australian versus dollar. While this is a long-term uptrend, perhaps I still do expect the strong corrective move to the downside of approximately 200 pips before and if uptrend will continues. For that, we made analysis on the lower time frame where the key resistance is located near 0.7325, still hasn't been broken. We are kind of producing the triple top here. The moving average was broken at this stage, which is 50 simple, and I think this is yet another selling opportunity, and it could be extremely good opportunity because the risk to reward ratio at this stage is very, very high. For example, the key resistance is just at this high, and if price will go higher, that will be an uptrend. While it below, it could be declining by 200 pips. So here the risk to reward ratio is extremely good, so could be very attractive for sellers. Thus, there could be extreme selling pressure sending price down, but watch of course this high. If it gets broken, then yeah, it could be going up. These were all the pairs that we had in regards to the United States dollar. Now let's have a look at other pairs. Canadian Japanese yen slowly but steadily moving down. What we can see is yet another cycle could be starting, and this could be yet again a bearish cycle, not a bullish one that I did expect initially. So that could be another bearish cycle which might result in much stronger downtrend, and it could be heading towards 77.90 basically to produce a double bottom. Of course, we need to watch what will be happening with our downside target, if it's get broken or not, but it could be broken easily and price could be heading towards this support at 77.90. Another Japanese yen pair is Australian Japanese yen. The initial analysis we made when the price was right there, where you can see the red line, slowly but steadily it's moving. Another cycle has just started, and you can see after that price went down quite nicely, although today we had this correction yet again and moving averages are being rejected. This means that it is still a bearish cycle, and from now on this continuation of the downtrend could take place. It could take longer, it could be stronger, but it's still a bearish setup, of course, because we are clearly printing lower lows and lower highs on this chart. And finally, we are left with Australian Swiss franc, where the new cycle has started, potentially a bearish cycle. Price still remains below the 88.6 resistance, which is the key level, and as long as it's below, we should be heading south to test potentially this support at 0.6556, which corresponds to the moving averages as well as 2 fibs. And to summarize, what we have is multiple Australian dollar pairs, which suggest that the Australian dollar will be weak. We have multiple United States dollar analysis, which suggests that the dollar will be strong. And finally, we have several Canadian dollar analysis, which suggest that the Canadian dollar will be weak as well. So weakness of the Australian and the Canadian dollar and the strength of the Australian dollar. As I already mentioned, this might result in the strongest downtrend for the Australian versus the dollar. Of course, only if these forecasts will become the reality. So yet to be seen, I could be wrong, but this is the picture that the price is drawing right now. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel where we're posting daily analysis, we're posting educational videos and live trade examples. Thank you yet again, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Profits to you.